subtraction one step further. If you notice on problem set lesson 6, module 3, 1A says 1 1/4 minus 1/3. What's different about this today than what we've been seeing?
That we have to subtract by one whole now?
Yeah, now we have a whole number. So if we pull this number apart, remember how I said if you have two fractions, how many boxes do you make? 2. Well, now we have an extra number, so how many boxes do you think we're going to make? 3. Well, what if that was a number 2 in front of there? How many would we make? We'd make 4. So we have one whole box plus another box plus another box. And how big will each box be? Okay, so we're going to go 4 over and 3 down. And we've already decided we need to make 3 boxes, right? Now what do we need to do?
And one of the boxes, we're going to put in lines going up and down.
Okay. So in one box, we're going to put vertical lines. And how many total strips do we have in there? We have 4 total strips, which means that represents what? The thirds or the fourths? The fourths. What am I going to do in my next box?
We're going to go long way.
Okay. And what's that represent? The thirds. Which fraction is being taken away from the other fraction? Which number am I subtracting? I'm subtracting the third. So this is going to be the one that we want to make sure is empty when we're done, because that's what we're subtracting. We're getting rid of that. And this one I can do either fourths or thirds. But since it's with the fourth, we're going to go ahead and say fourth. Raise your hand if you can tell me what 1/4 looks like. What does 1/4 look like?
You got the first row.
Okay. But am I done with my fourth? Am I done with my fourth?
No, because under it has to be all covered up.
Because we have what? We have a 1 in front of it. So do we want to start with 1/4 or do we want to start with 1 whole? What number begins? Yep, 1 whole. So you're going to have dots in every box, because every single strip is now filled up. And then what goes in the box below? Huh? 1 row of it. We'll just do 1 row. Remember, you have to stay inside the lines that you've already made. And now what do we do? But how do we know how many are in that box? Now what do we have to do? Okay, we have to fill in the thirds, don't we? And how many thirds do we have? Melina, what do you think? How many thirds? Up here. 1/3. So I'm going to fill in 1/3 of the box. And once I have everything drawn out and plotted, now what do I do with my boxes? Once I have everything put in there, what do I need to do with my boxes? Okay, but first I have to make sure these are common, they have common denominators, so I have to merge all the boxes together. So how do I do that? What do I do? Do you remember? Connor, do you remember?
You're going to have to put the ones going sideways over the fourth, up to the fourth, and those lines are vertical up and down in the third.
So I'm going to transfer the lines. Yeah, because right now I can't take one whole third strip and stick it in a fourth, can I? But if I give all of them the same number of boxes, I can move them, can't I? Because they're going to all have the same exact number of boxes, and we call that common denominator. So now what do? Huh? On what side? Huh? On the left? So I have 4 dots over here, and that's how many I'm taking away from my big number. So I'm going to go over here and take 4 dots away over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. What does that leave me with? What does that leave me with? So I have 11 dots left in here out of 12 boxes. So 1 1/4 minus 1/3 equals 11/12. So write that in your book. Problem set A. A. The next problem, B. 1 1/5 minus 1/3. I'm going to have you solve this one on your own. You can work with your neighbor on this, and then I'm going to draw, are you listening? Listen up. Then I'm going to draw sticks. And whichever number I draw, if that's your number on the floor and that's your number at your desk, you have to come up here and tell us how you solved it. So you better make sure you know what you're doing. 1 1/5 minus 1/3, I'm going to have you come up and explain it in a few minutes here. You can work through it with your partner, but make sure you understand what you're doing.
So we start now? Okay. First is 1 1/5 minus 1/3. So first we do 5 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 down. 1, 2, 3. And we make the whole entire box. And we do it again, this is, and that one is our home. No, yeah, next, this one is whole, so I fill up with that. And on the next one, there's only one sheet in.
Alright. Then you draw another one with 3 down and 5 across. And then you go horizontal. And you fill in one line.
Next, from this box right here, we're going to subtract. And also I forgot to do the line over. Then we start minusing. And our answer would be 12, 15, 13, 15. Again. I turn it off.
So what we have left is 13. We have, what if this fills in? We'll see. Maybe. Will it fill in that one? Nope. Fills in the whole thing. That's kind of cool looking. Okay, so 1/5 minus 1/3 will be all these boxes, which are 13. Out of how many total boxes? 15. Should we do one more? You guys kind of feel like you got it? Okay. Look at the word problem. Number 2 on homework. Sam had 1 1/2 meters of rope. What should I see written on that page? Right underneath the word problem. Tape diagram, because he had one and 1/2 meter of rope. What does this whole thing equal? What does the whole thing equal? Jillian? Yep, the whole thing equals 1 1/2. That's how much total rope he had, right? He cut off 5/8 and used it for a project. What is the question? What's the question we have to answer? How much does he have left? Well, this part's already gone, the stuff in red. The question is, how much out of 1 1/2 meters does he have left? How do you think you're going to solve that problem? Okay, 1 1/2 minus 5/8. Make sure you write that down in your book because it's going to go bye-bye and then you're going to be like, I don't know what to do. Okay, let's look at the second problem. Make sure you've copied off the board. Your teacher should be able to look in your book and see that you've made a tape diagram that looks just like this. If you haven't, then we can stay in and practice making tape diagrams. I say after school a lot. You're welcome to join me then. Number 3, Jackson had 1 3/8 kilogram of fertilizer. He used some to fertilize a flower bed, and he only had 2/3 kilograms left. How much fertilizer was used in the flower bed? How much did he start with?
1 5/8 of 58.
1 and what?
1 5/8 of 58.
No, 1 and
5/8 of 13.
1 and 3/8 is what he started with. So we make our tape diagram. We show how much he started with. This represents the amount of fertilizer. He started with 1 3/8. And then what happened? Then what happened? Then what happened? What did he do? No, Kaden, look at your book, sweetheart. What did he do next? He had this much fertilizer. What did he do next? He used okay, and this is, guys, here's the problem when you read word problems is that you will read the whole thing and then you don't divide it out. What was the very next thing he did? We're taking one thing at a time, one step at a time. He used some fertilizer. Do we know how much fertilizer? No. But we know he used some, right? Since we don't know how much fertilizer he used, what are we going to put below the tape diagram there? A question mark. You got to do one piece at a time. Then what happened? So this part is worth the question is, how much fertilizer was used in the flower bed? Blank kilograms make sure you write your sentence. On the number 2, how much rope did Sam have left? Sam had blank meters of rope left. How do you think you're going to solve this problem? Subtract. Okay, once you have that copied down, your assignment for tonight is all of the homework. 1, 2, and 3. Yes, ma'am?